I know it's at lunchtime, and I haven't had a chance to speak to our great lady here, the chair of the African Union, but I think that it probably would be a good idea to have our keynote speaker now. Is that all right with you, Madame Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, of course, the chairwoman of the African Union? I'll ask them to keep your food warm for you. And of course, this is a lady who needs no introduction, but really, you... I know that this is a very, very important project for you, and I want to make sure that you have plenty of time to say what you need to.
Well, thank you very much. I'll keep it short because I see the heads of state and government from Africa are here, and I would like to listen to them more than myself. So I'll keep it very short, and I welcome the remarks by UNIDO and the Secretary General. And of course, I see the head of OSA, the new head of president of ADB, brand new from the box. We welcome you. I'm greatly honored to address you at this event focusing on operationalization of post-2015 development agenda for Africa's industrialization, particularly Goal 9, which is what we're about to talk about today. And of course, Africa, as the Secretary General has said, has developed its Agenda 2063, which advocates for transformative and inclusive economic growth. This is to be achieved through infrastructure development, energy generation, human capital development, promotion of technology, which involves development, transfer of technology, improvement in agricultural productivity, but of course, accelerated industrialization, and making progress in services, regional continental integration, and trade. In short, there has to be enhancement of productive capacities, diversification, and competitiveness. Focus today on industrialization, mining, and clean energy. This is consistent with Goal 9 of the Sustainable Development Goals. Africa's experience with industrialization over the past 40 years has been less than successful. I think we must accept that. And that's why it's so important now to focus on how we can make it successful. I will not go into the reasons why. I think we all know. So we acknowledge that manufacturing is critical and probably the most important engine of long-term economic growth and socio-economic development. And yet, of course, at the moment, the share of manufacturing in Africa's GDP is very small, and compared to the rest of the world as well. So the limited manufacturing capacity of Africa means that the continent gets marginalized in the global manufacturing exports, a major source of sustainable and inclusive economic growth in other developing regions in the world. Manufacturing also remains the premier job generator. And so without manufacturing, the young people who are increasing on our continent, we have the youngest continent that needs most jobs. So without manufacturing, we cannot create enough of those jobs. So manufacturing is not a luxury, it is a necessity for the survival of our continent. But of course, we have to ensure that our industrialization is also climate smart. We have an opportunity to leapfrog using newer technologies, renewable energy, and I think that's one of the prerequisites for a successful industrialization in Africa now. And so we must also be looking at how do we ensure that there is energy there's technology transfer to the continent, to utilize some of our natural resources like the sun, wind, water, and geothermal. Agenda 2063 also aims to transform the structure of Africa's economy through beneficiation of Africa's natural resources, manufacturing and value addition, and also being competitive is going to be very important, using ICT platforms and ensuring that young people and women are skilled, because you can have everything. If you don't have the human resource that is skilled, we will still fail to industrialize. So that is very important. Of course, agriculture also offers a good opportunity for that. But I also want to say for the continent, we must also look at the blue economy and see how we can use that potential for job creation and also waterways that we have inland and the rich biodiversity that the continent has. Of course, the pilot projects that UNIDO is undertaking in partnership with Ethiopia and Senegal are very important. Their success is important because it has to be scaled up for the rest of the continent. So we hope that that will be speeded up. Of course, Goal 9, which focuses on building resilient infrastructure, promoting sustainable industrialization, and fostering innovation. Africa aspires to become the next major hub of global manufacturing. As Africa is poised to accelerate its urbanization and the creation of new cities, greater consideration should be given to industrialization hubs and decent jobs creating programs. As Asia moves to the high-value manufacturing, investors should be encouraged to move to Africa, where potential for broad-based manufacturing has not yet been realized, while taking into account the peculiarities of local conditions and guided by continental frameworks such as IDA, African Mining Vision, and efforts towards improving the industrial performance in Africa will accord high priority to building hard and soft infrastructure to reduce cost of doing business is very important on the continent so that we can be truly competitive. Promotion of high quality education and development of high capital, I've already mentioned. Private public partnerships should be pursued in all areas, especially in developing social infrastructure, which is also important because if you don't have a healthy workforce, you won't be productive either. So those are also very important. Developing entrepreneurship, innovation, and technology is critical, but looking at everything in the context of preserving and protecting our planet, because our continent is already experiencing the impact of climate change. So we have to be very careful that we do not enhance those things that create problems for our planet. I also just want to stress that for industrialization, we also have to look at financing. And I won't delve deep into it, but it's an important element that we must look at. And of course, the summit in Ethiopia was also looking at the financing. But integration for the continent is also important because as we industrialize, we must be able to trade more amongst ourselves on manufactured goods, improve intra-African trade as we improve global trade. And of course, we have to strengthen the cooperation with traditional and new development partners to enhance the capacity for industrialization, the technical, fiscal, and other capacities for the continent, and a favorable global environment for the acceleration of industrial development. So in short, Africa is ripe for industrialization, a strong and positive growth trajectory, rapid urbanization, stable and improved economic and political environment have opened a window of opportunity for Africa to achieve economic transformation. Africa cannot achieve industrialization alone. Therefore, we invite all partners to be part of this journey, which is going to be a very successful journey for the industrialization of Africa. So you must be part of this great success that is about to happen on the continent. Thank you.